Live immediately. The Stoic Guide to Reclaiming Your Time. The illusion of tomorrow. Most people live in the illusion that tomorrow will be better. They tell themselves they have time. They prepare, they plan, they wait, always waiting. But tomorrow doesn't exist. The past is gone. The only moment you truly own is now. The Stoics understood this deeply. Seneca warned that life is not short. We just waste too much of it. Marcus Aurelius reminded himself daily, you could be good today, but instead, you choose tomorrow. Imagine waking up one day and realizing half your life has slipped away, not because of disaster, but because of hesitation. How many times have you told yourself, I'll start tomorrow? But time is not stolen in dramatic moments. It vanishes in small, forgettable decisions. A delay here, a distraction there, an excuse repeated 1,000 times. Those on their deathbeds do not regret what they attempted and failed. They regret what they never started. Life, when viewed in hindsight, reveals its cruel trick. You thought you had time, but in reality, you were only borrowing it. And one day, fate comes to collect its debt. The tyranny of distractions. Distractions are the silent thieves of life. Today's world is built to steal your attention. Phones, social media, entertainment, endless scrolling, mindless consumption. Even in ancient times, Epictetus warned against being swayed by trivial matters. If he lived today, he'd surely warn against binge-watching and doom-scrolling. Every moment lost to distractions is a moment stolen from your potential. Your attention is your most valuable resource, and if you don't control it, someone else will. Distractions don't just waste time, they fragment your mind, making deep work and meaningful action nearly impossible. Worse, even seemingly productive activities can be disguised forms of procrastination. You're not really progressing, you're avoiding discomfort. The antidote? Presence. Marcus Aurelius constantly reminded himself to focus on the present, to engage fully with what was in front of him. If you master your attention, you master your life. Start by setting boundaries. Create distraction-free periods. Practice solitude. Choose your inputs wisely. Consume content that nourishes you, not numbs you. Most importantly, realize that every hour spent on mindless entertainment is an hour you will never get back. The fallacy of waiting for the perfect moment. I'll start when the time is right. How often have you said this? How many dreams have been delayed? How many goals postponed, waiting for some mythical perfect moment? The Stoics knew this was an illusion. Marcus Aurelius put it simply, you could be good today. Instead, you choose tomorrow. There is no perfect time. There will always be uncertainties, obstacles, imperfections. Those who achieve do not wait. They act, despite doubt, despite fear. Perfectionism is just procrastination in disguise. It convinces you that you're not ready, that you need more time. But history shows that great achievements do not start with flawless beginnings. They start with imperfect first steps. Think about it. When you look back on your life, what will be more painful, the failures or the regrets of never trying? Stop waiting. Start now. The path ahead will be messy, but movement creates momentum. Each action builds confidence, and confidence fuels further action. If you want change, don't hope for the right moment. Create it. The fear of failure and its chains. One of the biggest reasons people waste time, fear of failure. We hesitate because we don't want to fail, to be judged, to be embarrassed. But the Stoics saw failure differently. To them, failure wasn't something to fear. It was a necessary step toward growth. Seneca put it best. Difficulties strengthen the mind, as labor does the body. If you fear failure, you avoid the very experiences that make you stronger. Growth doesn't come from avoiding discomfort. It comes from facing it head-on. The reality is, failure isn't what holds people back. The fear of it does. And ironically, by trying to avoid failure, you fail in the worst way. You fail by default. You never even give yourself a chance. So what if you fail? The world doesn't end. In fact, every failure teaches you something, refines you, sharpens you. The Stoics believed that hardship is the training ground of resilience, and the more you face it, the stronger you become. Living with urgency. Every morning, remind yourself, today could be my last. How will I use it wisely? This isn't about being morbid. It's about waking up. When you understand the fleeting nature of time, you stop wasting it. You stop postponing your dreams, neglecting your relationships, avoiding what matters. Instead of starting your day with distractions, begin with intention. Reflect on what truly matters. Prioritize meaning over urgency. Choose depth over surface-level busyness. Set 3 clear intentions for the day. 3 things that will move you closer to a life well lived. At night, reflect. What time did you waste? How can you improve tomorrow? If you do this consistently, you will develop a sharp, purposeful mind. A mind that does not drift through life but actively shapes it. The choice is yours. The clock is always ticking. Time is not something you can store, save, or get back. Every second wasted is gone forever. So the question is simple. Will you continue to live as if you have infinite tomorrows? Or will you take control of today? Your life is happening now, not tomorrow, not someday, right now. Live immediately. Title: The Stoics' Guide to Failure, Regret, and Discipline. Introduction. What if I told you that failure isn't your enemy, but your greatest teacher? That regret is not just a weight to carry, but a guide to future action? That discipline isn't a punishment, but the key to true freedom? The ancient Stoics understood these truths long before modern self-help gurus packaged them into best-selling books. Today, we're going to break down how you can embrace failure, overcome regret, and master discipline using real-world examples and timeless wisdom. Chapter 1. The Power of Failure. We often fear failure because society teaches us that it's a sign of weakness. We're told to avoid it at all costs, to play it safe, to stick with what we know. But the Stoics saw failure differently, not as a dead end, but as an opportunity to learn, to grow, and to build resilience. Take Thomas Edison, for example. He famously said, "I have not failed. I've just found 10,000 ways that won't work." Imagine if he had given up after his first 100 attempts at creating the light bulb, or even after his first 1,000. Instead, he saw failure as feedback, each mistake guiding him toward success. The same applies to modern life. Maybe you've bombed a job interview, flunked an important exam, or launched a business that went nowhere. The Stoic approach is to analyze each setback. What did I learn? How can I improve? What adjustments should I make? Each failure is a stepping stone, not a stop sign. Practical advice: keep a failure journal. Each time something doesn't go as planned, write down what happened, what went wrong, and what you learned. Over time, you'll see patterns and gain valuable insights that make future failures less intimidating. Chapter 2. The Weight of Regret. Regret is a universal human experience. It's that nagging voice in the back of your mind saying, "What if?" The Stoics believed that the only way to minimize regret was to maximize engagement with the present. Consider Bronnie Ware, a nurse who spent years working with terminally ill patients. She wrote the top 5 regrets of the dying, and the most common regret she observed was, "I wish I had the courage to live a life true to myself, not the life others expected of me." The takeaway? People don't regret failing, they regret not trying. Practical advice: ask yourself, if I died tomorrow, what would I regret not doing? Then, take one small action toward that goal today. Whether it's reaching out to an old friend, starting that book you always wanted to write, or signing up for a class you've been hesitant about, do something now. Chapter 3. The Illusion of Busyness. Being busy is not the same as being productive. Many people wear their busyness like a badge of honor, believing that a packed schedule means they are making progress. But the Stoics remind us that true achievement comes from focus, not frantic activity. Take Warren Buffett. Despite being one of the wealthiest and most influential investors in history, he keeps his schedule almost completely empty. He prioritizes thinking, reflection, and deliberate action over filling his days with endless tasks. Practical advice. Try the Pareto principle, also known as the 80-20 rule. Identify the 20% of your activities that produce 80% of your results, and eliminate or delegate the rest. Focus on what truly moves the needle, and cut out distractions disguised as obligations. Chapter 4. The Strength of Discipline. Discipline is the bridge between knowledge and action. You might know what you need to do: exercise regularly, save money, wake up early. But without discipline, that knowledge is useless. The Stoic philosopher Epictetus put it bluntly: "No man is free who is not master of himself." True freedom isn't doing whatever you want whenever you want. It's having control over your impulses, habits, and choices. Look at Jocko Willink, former Navy SEAL and best-selling author of Discipline Equals Freedom. He wakes up at 4:30 a.m. every single day to train. Not because he feels like it, but because he has trained himself to act regardless of his emotions. That's what discipline is. It's doing the work, even when you don't feel motivated. Practical advice. Build small, non-negotiable habits. Start with something simple. Make your bed every morning. Commit to 5 minutes of journaling, or do 10 push-ups daily. Mastering small disciplines will help you gain control over larger ones. Conclusion. The Stoics' path to mastery. Failure is feedback. Regret is a guide. Discipline is freedom. These are the principles that the Stoics lived by, and they still hold true today. The world will always throw challenges your way, but you get to decide how you respond. So the next time you face failure, reframe it as a lesson. When regret creeps in, use it as a reminder to act now. And when discipline feels difficult, remember that every small step forward strengthens your self-mastery. Because in the end, the difference between those who achieve and those who only dream is simple: action. Call to action. If this video resonated with you, take one lesson from today and apply it immediately. Let me know in the comments, what failure have you learned the most from? And if you enjoyed this, make sure to subscribe for more insights on Stoicism, mindset, and personal growth. Thanks for watching. The Stoic commits to self-discipline not as an act of punishment, but as an act of self-respect. They do what must be done, even when it is difficult, tedious, or uninspiring. The disciplined individual does not wait for motivation. They act despite its absence. They know that real strength is forged in adversity, in the moments when every fiber of their being wants to quit. Yet they persist. One of the key components of Stoic discipline is consistency. Small, steady efforts each day lead to monumental progress over time. This is why the Stoic practices daily rituals, whether it be journaling, meditation, exercise, or deliberate reflection. These habits reinforce mental clarity and strengthen the ability to endure discomfort. Each disciplined act is a declaration of mastery over the self, a testament to the unwavering pursuit of virtue. Discipline is the antidote to regret. Those who lack discipline often find themselves burdened with missed opportunities, unfulfilled potential, and a life filled with what-ifs. The Stoic understands that a disciplined life is a life without unnecessary regret. By holding themselves accountable and taking consistent action, they ensure that their days are spent with intention, rather than wasted in indecision or laziness. Discipline creates structure, and structure enables a person to progress toward their goals with purpose. Without it, time is spent haphazardly, and before long, a lifetime of potential has been wasted. The Stoic also recognizes that discipline extends beyond personal habits. It applies to how one interacts with the world. They exercise discipline in speech, thought, and action, choosing their words and behaviors carefully. They do not give in to fleeting emotions, nor are they easily swayed by external pressures. They train themselves to remain steady, unshaken by temporary discomfort or short-term gratification. True discipline involves emotional regulation. ensuring that reactions are measured and that every decision is based on wisdom rather than impulse. Discipline is also the key to resilience. Life is unpredictable, and external events often disrupt plans. However, a disciplined person does not falter in the face of adversity. They persist, adjusting their approach when necessary but never deviating from their principles. The ability to remain steadfast during hardship is what allows individuals to achieve greatness, regardless of the obstacles they encounter. For the Stoic, every challenge is an opportunity to strengthen their resolve. True discipline means embracing setbacks, viewing them not as failures but as opportunities for growth. Each time an obstacle arises, it is another chance to refine one's character and fortify the will. Additionally, discipline fosters self-reliance. Instead of depending on external motivators, the Stoic develops an internal drive to succeed. They understand that motivation is fleeting, but discipline is constant. Motivation may get someone started, but only discipline will keep them moving forward when challenges arise. This understanding allows them to stay consistent even when enthusiasm fades, ensuring long-term success rather than short-lived effort. Self-reliance also breeds independence, removing the need for external validation or approval. The disciplined person does not wait for the perfect conditions to act. They create their own opportunities through consistent effort. Discipline is not a burden, but a path to liberation. It frees the mind from the chaos of distraction, the paralysis of overthinking, and the stagnation of inaction. It enables individuals to act decisively, to move forward with confidence, and to shape their lives according to their highest values. A disciplined mind is a focused mind, able to block out noise and direct energy toward what truly matters. This ability to control one's actions and responses brings a sense of peace and clarity, as one is no longer enslaved to impulses or fleeting desires. Discipline is also a form of self-respect. The individual who exercises discipline shows that they value their time, their goals, and their future. They do not waste their moments on distractions that do not serve them. Instead, they structure their days in alignment with their ultimate purpose. This structure is not rigid or oppressive. Rather, it provides a framework that enhances freedom by eliminating the chaos of indecision and mindless distractions. Discipline allows for greater creativity, deeper engagement, and a stronger sense of fulfillment. True discipline also fosters a profound sense of clarity. The more disciplined one becomes, the less cluttered the mind is with unnecessary concerns. Decisions become easier because they are made with purpose and alignment to one's values. The disciplined individual is not weighed down by the distractions of fleeting desires, but is instead propelled forward by an unwavering sense of direction. A Stoic does not simply wish for self-mastery. They cultivate it, brick by brick, through their disciplined choices and unwavering commitment to personal growth. They understand that each day presents an opportunity to strengthen their resolve. They do not allow past failures to dictate their future, nor do they wait for perfect conditions to take action. Instead, they recognize that discipline is a daily practice, an ongoing process of refinement that requires patience and dedication. Every act of discipline is a declaration of control over the self, a refusal to be ruled by impulses or emotions. In doing so, they create a life of purpose, free from regret and rich with fulfillment. The disciplined individual experiences a deeper sense of satisfaction because their actions are intentional and meaningful. They build resilience with every decision, forging a mindset that is not easily swayed by external pressures. They understand that discipline is not a one-time choice but a lifelong practice, one that must be reinforced daily through conscious effort and unwavering commitment. The truly disciplined individual is not one who never struggles, but one who never surrenders to struggle. They embrace challenges as opportunities to refine their character and strengthen their will. They cultivate a sense of in